look like an little old lady.
Yeah.
It's cold here in Southern California.
Tupac is here too. But
Hey, everybody.
Screen. Hey, what's up, everybody? Man, what a day already it has been. It's starting a little late today because I'm acclimating to energy.
Did a lot of energy work starting on the new moon, so he released a lot of energies that were no longer serving him.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Can you guys hear Randy okay? Is the levels okay? Just making sure.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Makabel, Mama Neutron? Thank you guys so much for joining us. So we got a lot to break down today because I feel like 2 days ago was like a really magical shift kind of day. And like, I just want to ask you guys, like, are you since 2 days ago, are you guys feeling any different? Have you noticed any kind of synchronicities? How's your mood? Like, how are you guys feeling now? Because whatever's happening, it's a global collective shift that we're all feeling it. And the more that you're in tune with your own feelings and what's going on, the more you understand what's happening. So I think right now, this can manifest in a lot of different ways. Like, people could be angry or, frustrated or, feel overwhelmed with emotion right now because the energies are high.
Yep. And we are all part of this collective, so we're feeling a lot of other people's energies, especially if you're an empath. So that's why today we're going to be doing a meditation on flow.
Yep. And Marcus says still depressed. So even negative emotions can be enhanced by this transition that we're going through right now. And it's so weird. Like, we did this, like, I'll get into in detail about the emotional release that we did. But like, once Randy did that ritual for me and unblocked all this stuff, all of these ideas are just pouring out of me, and it's like my heart has been racing ever since. And it's like
he has a new lease on life.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like when Christians say born again, whatever we did, I don't subscribe to Christianity. I believe there's truths in all religions, but whatever we did, I felt like born again. And I think that being born again, what it means is purging yourself of trauma, because trauma is our anchor to this realm, and it's necessary because trauma in a sense grounds us to this experience and this narrative. So to move forward as a society right now, this is why shit's so crazy, is because we're trying to work through collective trauma. We're a society that has collective PTSD, and we don't know how to handle it. You have to think. I'm sorry.
I just said yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about flow, and I just the words just flowing out of my mouth. And ideas are things that are flow. And then I started thinking about the concept of flow and how that's what we're missing is flow, because we're blockage. Things are blocked.
When we think of flow, we want to think about releasing things that do not serve us anymore and welcoming, better, more positive white light energies. And a lot of people get blocked up, and that leads to depression, anxiety, just extra stress that's not needed. So hopefully when we do this meditation, a lot of you will be able to feel that just a flow of energy moving through them.
Yeah, Heather, you've been feeling super down, and you've got an appointment with your healer tomorrow. Awesome. Well, if you stick around, we're going to do some healing today too, because that's what we're here. That's why we wanted to start these things on Sunday, is because we want to show people the tools to heal yourself. Because what we don't realize is I finally understand what it means to be an irreverentist, and it's that you're not afraid of looking stupid. The divine fool archetype is these things are ridiculous. Believing that you can heal yourself with the power of your mind, believing that collective thought actually affects our reality. We've been taught since birth that these things are ridiculous, and it's you can't do it. So what we have to do, we have to be brave enough to go against the grain and believe, because the truth is absurd, and we can only find the truth by being absurd. And that's what it means to be an irreverentist. So if you agree with that statement, maybe you're an irreverentist and you don't know it. But it's basically just don't put limitations on yourself. Because the way that I'm coming up with all these thoughts and these new ideas and these new perspectives is because I just keep saying, what if? I don't say that's impossible. I say, what if that was the case? And then I think about this, and then it leads me to this conclusion, it leads me to that conclusion. And that's how the universe talks to you. And it's like we're living in the answers all of this time, but nobody's deciphering it. It's like, why do we cry? Yeah. Why do we dance? Like, why do we do all these weird things that nobody questions? Why are we not asking ourselves why we fucking love to dance? It's absurd. Dancing is absurd, right?
I guess so. I mean,
hey, what's up?
If that's the word you want to use for it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has their own terms or their own descriptions on things.
But if you really just stop and think, like everything we do, eating is absurd. It's like chewing things up with our mouth, swallowing them that goes down a tube into a sack of acid that then absorbs like energy that powers our bodies to keep wiggling these magical skeletons of meat and electricity. That's absurd.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it is when you want to think about it in this way. It's like if you live your life curious and excited, that's a good way to help you navigate through life. Being like a kid again, being curious and just like Sig is just full of childlike wonder. And a lot of us grow up and we think we have to be so serious, but actually in reality, growing up means, you still want to be excited about life. You still want to find the magic in the mundane. So, yeah, that's the way I see it. Yeah. I don't see it as absurd. I just see it as living.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like the truth. That's what I'm saying. But it's like if you like believe in possibility, you look like the crazy person in a world that thinks it's sane. But really it's flipped. Like the world and normalcy, that's actually like insanity, is not believing in possibility. So we have to be absurd to open people's minds to new possibilities. So for a while, like if I'm speaking to you and what I'm saying to you resonates with you, like we're coming together. We're starting to attract a movement. We're starting to attract a group. Like Witch King, you talk to me. Like we talk about your meditations and stuff. People from all over the world listen to my podcast. I get emails from Sweden telling me how they tried out some of these techniques that I offered and how they're seeing real results. Like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put the tools in your hand so that you can explore. I'm just showing you the path, but you guys have to walk it. Well, we're showing you the path, and like other people out there too. There are a lot of people that have woken up to what's really going on. So but all you need to do is be open to that. Like it's the song of the universe, and to hear it, all you have to do is listen.
Yeah.
Whew. See, I'm telling you, I'm like heated today.
He is passionate.
Like
so we did a big fire ritual on the new moon, and that like really lit that fire in you, along with the release and the transformation that comes with fire. It's been a very intense couple of days, I'll tell you that much.
I've released some like really heavy emotions. Marcus is asking, does the pink salt lamps work? And yes.
Most certainly they do, yes. They help clear negative energies. I actually, I place my hats on them because sometimes I wear hats for when I'm doing spirit work, and I put them on that to clear the energies that I may have absorbed. And I have one next to my bedside, and when I started this whole spiritual awakening, it was like one of the first things that they were like, you need a salt lamp. And this is just me listening to spirit. I know it sounds crazy, but I listen to my ancestors and my guides, and they haven't steered me wrong since I started listening to them.
Yep, we spent a year listening to them, and by taking that, we were the divine fools. We took the chance because we're like, okay, you're hearing voices, like
I'm
most
like,
people
you know
be
what?
like,
what do you have to say? Oh, do this? Okay. Like everything that they told me to do, it was like, I don't know, this seems kind of crazy, but I'll do it. It doesn't sound dangerous. And here we are doing like meditation, like mentally and emotionally stable and sound, and just still
we're
curious
completely
and learning.
Different people
we're different
than we were last year.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, this is crazy.
Oh, you know what's really crazy?
Yeah, we got lots to say. So go ahead.
What? Oh yeah, it's been a year since all the crazy spiritual awakening stuff happened. Like we went to Louisiana a year ago.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Ruby, the background is always it's always been that busy. It's like making Ruby sick. Maybe I should get a different backdrop for this. What do you think?
Maybe.
Is the backdrop like really distracting to people? Because I guess it is kind of busy. I could like turn it off. I don't want you guys to be like sick watching it or anything. But to finish up the point on salt lamps, I'll wait to hear from you guys. If chime in if you want me to turn it off.
Is a really good cleanser. I actually shower with salt a lot. Like if I feel like I have a lot of stagnant energies, and this goes along with flow too. If you feel like you have a lot of stagnant energies, get some sea salt and put that in your shower or in your bathing routine, because that helps clear your energetic field. Salt is like the shit when it comes to clearing energies.
Yeah, and hey Ruby, one for all and all for one. Yeah, I'll turn it off because it's fine. I'll get another. There we go. We'll just chill on the black backdrop, and I just disappeared. I'm just a floating head now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So here's the thing: is that these things work, and we sort of intuitively know that these things work. Have you ever, like Wayne was talking about this to me? It's like you pick up a penny and you hold on to that penny, not because it has any worth, but because somewhere inside of you, some weird distant memory tells you that holding on to that penny and believing that it is good luck will bring you good luck. So what is really actually bringing you good luck is the power of your mind, that you turned that penny into a token, into an amulet, by the belief that it brings you luck. So these things, magic works better when you believe in it.
And it really works when you actually, like, if you pay attention to subtleties, because actually, I feel it was like the other day, I felt like a pinch, like a really bad pinch in my shoulder. And I kind of just joked about a ghost being behind me. I don't know why I did that, but I was like, and then I sat, and it kind of went away. And then I sat at the table, and I was like, man, I still feel that pinch. And I intuitively grabbed some salt and threw it over my shoulder, because, like, people have talked about that, like, back in the day. And I shit you not, like, that pain just went away. And I was like, huh, interesting. So it's interesting that you brought up the salt lamps, because that was when I was like, man, salt is, like, pretty powerful.
Yep. And what I want to say is, like, all of you guys that are watching right now, absolutely, that we projected this thought as this message to share with you guys, and you guys subconsciously tapped into the field that we're all connected to, and it all drew you here. So if you're watching this, we have something like wisdom to impart to you, and you're here for a reason. So let me let Tupac out.
Tupac's like, I've had it.
I'm not here for a reason. I'm a dog. So this is how you manifest. Everybody talks about manifestation, but we don't really break it down into the practical way to envision manifestation. And what it is you're sending a thought out into the field, and then when you put so much thought, like feeling, into that thought, it becomes a more cohesive thing. And the more thought and feeling you put into a thought and feeling, it becomes its own thing with its own gravitational pull, and then it starts to subconsciously attract minds to it. Mm-hmm. So your mind is an idea floater that you're essentially putting out magnets above your head, and then subconsciously everybody starts making these choices that lead them directly to you, because their brain knows that they have something to offer you. We're putting together this giant puzzle, and everybody has a place. But we can only find the place once enough of the puzzle is put together, because that's when we know where we all fit. Just think about it, back in the day, biblical times and stuff, that puzzle was scattered everywhere. And now we keep coming back, keep reincarnating through generation after generation, learning new lessons. We come back, we learn we learn about ourselves as we help others to learn who they are. Mm-hmm. And if people that have figured this out, I think that's like Buddhahood. That's how you ascend, and you don't have to come back to this cycle of going through the material realm. But people that have figured it out, we have a big part of the whole thing of figuring it out is compassion and love. So we come back to this realm to help other people and show them the message, and that takes the form in many forms. Artists, musicians. Art is an attempt to remember something that you've forgotten. So all of these artists, when you make music, it's these faint memories, and you're bending laws and physics and sound, and you're creating magic, and you're showing other people, and you with art, we're trying to inspire other people to tap into their own creative potential.
Mm-hmm. Creativity, a lot of people don't realize this, but creativity is a huge link to our spirituality. Having an imagination, being creative, a lot of that is kind of neglected when it comes to school. And I think that also has another reason. That's another reason why people feel feel blocked.
Which brings
they
me...
don't have their creative flow.
Yeah, which brings me to shame. Shame is like one of the most powerful tools that humanity has been controlled throughout the ages, and it's by design. So look, if you want to look at the reference of like Eve ate the apple, and then when she ate the apple, she became cloaked in flesh, and then she felt ashamed. So they started to cover themselves up, like, clothes and stuff. And also there's the Book of Thoth, which is apparently it's all the answers to everything. And if you read this book, it brings untold suffering to anyone who reads the book. Well, the realm of matter is the Book of Thoth. This is that we want to know, we exist in a realm of no limitations. We're just infinite minds. But we want to come to a realm to understand and learn, because in this realm we have limits. There's limitation in having a physical body. And our physical body is just our spacesuit that anchors us into this reality so that I sound like a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, you're talking a lot about a lot of things.
I know. It's like, but I mean, if none of this stuff makes sense to you now, like,
yeah, we were talking.
I'm putting it out as a podcast episode,
and
you can listen back to it.
Yeah,
but I feel like it needs to be said.
Yeah.
But so shame is important. You got to drop this. Thank you, honey. Says I make sense.
Yeah.
What's up, Captain? You got to drop the shame, because all right, Tupac. So.
He's already in one.
I know.
He's
Yeah,
in
the loony bin. This existence, it could be a loony bin.
This existence is a loony bin.
Right? So here's the thing. So since the beginning of time, once we started incarnating in this realm of limitations to figure out, try our brains and try to succeed and work out ideas, because we're all just ideas. We're a collection of ideas that we float to this collective experience. So, but shame, whether it's with our bodies, whether it's with our face, whether it's with, like, I was thinking the other day, like, what is it to be embarrassed? Like, what the fuck is the feeling of being embarrassed, and why are we even embarrassed? It's a very distinct feeling, and it permeates all of us. We all know what it's like to feel embarrassed, and nobody wants to feel embarrassed. And that's like a really powerful thing. But once you stop giving a shit, then shame has no power over you. So, like, if you, like, so I'm not saying do this, but this is just an example. Like, if you walked naked down the street with no shame, like, there's nothing mentally to stop you from walking down the street. So in your own mind, there's nothing holding you back. Now, society doesn't really accept that right now, so don't do that. But, I'm just saying, like, this is how shame controls us. Also, like, some people wear makeup because they feel ashamed of what their face looks like. Some people wear makeup to elevate their appearance, and it's like an art, and that's fine. But some people, deep down, they're covering their face because they're ashamed. So it's these masks that we wear. So we have to drop this shame, and we have to, like, to really grow and to really progress to the next level of, like, human evolution. We're going to have to start dropping the shame and the ancestral traumas because, like I said, we're living in a PTSD society. Like, all of the racism, all of this weird stuff, you're like, why do people think that? Like, how could anyone feel so divided for someone? And it's ancestral memories. It's all of this trauma of the past that we haven't dealt with. So right now, in this age, this is like, this finally when mankind has developed enough technologically and societally and socially that we can actually begin to process all of our traumas collectively and come together and remember who we are. We're just, that's what the Ouroboros represents. It's the snake eating itself. Like, eventually we'll come back to a time where we realize that we created ourselves because we are one with the source of everything. We are just separate parts of the whole that split so that it could experience itself. Because I can't see my own face without a mirror. And my fellow humans are the mirrors in which to see myself. Because we as humans offer each other choices. And you can only know who you are.
You're cracking me up.
You can only know who you are by making choices. And other people offer you choice. So that's why we're so important to one another. Because through other people, that's how we find ourselves. That's my shame. Stop. Get your nose off that.
Oh. Tupac's messing with the mic.
Yeah, it's hard to live by, but it's by design. That's what it's, and what I'm saying is, like, if it resonates with you, it's not going to make sense at first. Well, it might make sense, but that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing something, and wisdom is knowing how to use that knowledge. So you have to put that knowledge into action, and that's what this realm of matter is for, is to put our knowledge into action so that it becomes wisdom. It's the alchemical transformation of the human soul to find the prima materia and be the best persons that we can be by shedding all the bad parts and continually going through processes of suffering and rebirth, death and life, sleep and wake. It's all the cycle. You got anything to add?
You just said like 1,000 things.
I know.
So I mean, I don't necessarily think I have anything to add to that.
Being arrested is a huge mental stoppage. Yeah, if that's something that happened to you, so that brings me to the release.
I didn't hear what that was.
Marcus said being arrested is a huge mental stoppage. So I'm thinking that's like, if that was something that happened to them, I think you may be holding on to the trauma of that experience. And you have to release those emotions. You have to forgive yourself of that, the decisions that led you there, because the whole time you were learning something, did you not? I mean, where you are now, you probably learned a lot from that experience. So experiences, both good and bad, are invaluable to us. So, and we should respect them and appreciate them. And that's where gratitude comes in. Like, we should be grateful for the entire experience and always strive for the best experience, but we have to accept and appreciate the negative experiences, because that is the part of this realm of matter, and that's a part of learning.
Yep. An important part of all of this too is learning when to release the emotions or feelings that are related to traumas, because like you said, like if we hold on to these emotions, like you have to honor the emotions, but there comes a point in your life where you have to realize you can't hold on to all the traumas. And when you're ready, you got to release them.
Mm-hmm. So Makabo says, do you have any advice on how to let that shame go? I feel on the cusp of some significant spiritual growth, but my shame has been stopping me. I've been trying meditation, it's working, but I almost feel like I'm not worth the effort. I don't know if that makes any sort of sense. That makes every sort of sense, Makabo, is because that was what they were teaching us last year. Last year we spent our entire transformation for ourselves so that we could understand the process, and now we can share the information with other people. And yeah, we feel unworthy, and that's our greatest enemy. Ourselves is our greatest enemy. We're the devil of our own hells or the angels of our own heavens.
Yeah. Have you ever tried actually saying, I want to release the shame. I want to release the emotions connected to the shame that I feel. Once you learned a lesson from the things that you've done in the past, there's no need to hold on to the shame anymore.
Yeah. I think last night, I love the work you both do together, Patricia. And Jen says, subconscious reprogramming in theta allows access and reconstructing to genetic memories. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's what Dune. We're writing all of the answers into our media.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah, hey, Jen. Like Dune, if you've read Dune, everybody's like, man, this feels so biblical. This feels like so spiritual. Star Wars, the Force, the good and bad force. It's like they're not necessarily good or evil. It's just two forces of the universe working in tandem. Like, all of the answers are there in our movies, in our TV. Where do you think these fucking story ideas come from? It's because, like, we're channeling divine truths, and we're trying to, like, our whole existence is a puzzle that if we don't allow ourselves to be, like, confined by, oh, that's stupid, but like open up to the possibilities, you start to connect the dots and you start to see why we're here. And that's why movies and stories and everything is so important, because you can learn so much. We learn so much from the story because we are living a story. And again, it's the book of Thoth. It's this never-ending story that is happening in real time that we're all active participants in. So really it boils down to, what story do we want to tell? So last night, so I started doing this thing.
Yes, Kobe Bryant passed away, and that's sad. My condolences to his
Kobe.
family and those who cared about him, those who resonated with his energy. That's really sad. He was very young.
Mm-hmm. It is a travesty, and I think death, the fear of death, is it's a trauma that we hold on to as well. And that was during the fire ritual, that was another released emotion that Randy helped me release, because when my friend John passed away, that's when it pushed me into the darkest depths of alcoholism. That's when I got really bad. And it's because I feared death, and I was like, is this it? Is this all there is? So that pushed me in a drink, and it pushed me further into the darkness. And then the universe woke us up from the dream, and now I realize that like our minds are infinite. We always exist, but these bodies are just transient. Like, and it's set up that way so we can learn. Because think about if you were a vampire that lived forever, like you'd get bored. You know, like you would get stagnant because you just know everything there is to know. So we go through this process of remembering and forgetting to continually drive existence. So we never really truly go. We just lose our physical body. And then we exist on a different plane. And until we decide to come back into a body again, for whatever reason. Patricia, you're a stage 4 breast cancer survivor? Awesome. Yeah, I believe that like we have to, like, medicine is like a collective. You use the physical, like modern medicine, but also there's a lot of like mind medicine that we have lost and we haven't used yet. Tupac, what are you doing? Get out of here.
I think he wants me to burn some Palo Santo.
All right, man, he's gonna burn some Palo Santo. But Mako Bell, so this technique last night, sorry, there's just so much that came through these last 2 days.
Yeah,
I'm trying
he's
to get
like,
it all out
he's
to you.
just releasing the floodgates,
Yeah,
letting it flow out.
I'm an air sign, so I flow. Words are my thing. It flows. So this is my release too, and I hope it helps you guys. And if I'm talking really fast, like go back and listen to it when we put it up on the YouTube or my podcast, Futron. So last night I did this thing. I was like, what's the best way to remember something? And so subconsciously, and I was like, man, why is it when we play the piano, we like our fingers, you like when you like get in that zone of like not focusing on your fingers too much and you just let the moment unfold, then that's when you play your best, is because when you're in that zone. And athletes will tell you this, there's this zone where you just let the moment unfold. You know exactly what to do without even thinking about it. And that's tuning into the harmony of the moment. And so I was like, I'm going to try that out on like some yoga. I saw something about Egyptian power postures, and I was like, man, I'm going to try this thing, and I'm going to like just let my body do its thing and see what happens, and stretch and like dance and like I discovered like this whole, like, I felt like ancient, like, yogic practice of meditation and movement that I'm going to do a whole video about and, like, try to teach people this so you can employ it on your own techniques. What?
I just think it's funny. You're just, like, you're so excited about things. I feel your energy.
Yeah, so the release, what I was doing is I was doing the yoga, I was doing the movement, the meditation, the stretch, focusing on balance, and then I had my notebook open, and then I'd write all my thoughts out that I thought about when I was in that pose. So I would like release my mind thoughts, and I'd also like release some tension in my body. So it was like this full body release. And then I realized I was doing this in front of the mirror, and I looked at myself, and I was like, man, when's the last time when's the last time you looked in the mirror and you just like thought, man, I love that person staring back at me. You know? Like, it's kind of like a simple thing, but like, nobody really thinks to take the time to like love themselves. So, Mako Bell, like, my advice to you is like, look in the mirror, like, couple this with your meditation, it's diet, it's all a bunch of, like, you have to start taking care of yourself, because we all know how to take care of our bodies.
Self-love is very important.
So start eating healthier, start exercising, start making good choices for yourself, because you are worth it. And then don't forget to look in that mirror and say, you know, I love you. And I think that we should start expressing like true, genuine love for everybody, because we all are the same thing. So I love everyone like I love myself. And this is where shame comes into play too. Like, why is it so hard to connect with strangers? Why is it weird to like walk up to anybody on the street and say, I love you, man. Like, I hope you have a wonderful day. That's weird. That weirds people out. Like, love isn't some finite thing. Love can be given freely, and it's abundant. And it's the most abundant thing in the universe. It's the most powerful force in the universe. So why are we not sharing love? And there are loves of all types. Like, we don't have to share romantic sexual love with everybody, but there is a basic human love for ourselves and for others that we need to start sharing and connect.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Does that help, Mako Bell? Yeah, I'll have this episode I'll put up as a podcast episode after this, and then it'll also be up on the YouTube as well. What else do you want to talk about?
I thought we were just going to do a meditation.
Okay, I guess now's a good time to do meditation.
It's a good introduction to everything.
Let my flow out.
Yeah, he allowed that. Like, he received all this information.
I feel better
now. Like, he's like, everyone needs to know this!
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, cool. Let's get on to some meditation. And
then see, my mom says, I love this so much. I feel your excitement and joy, Sig. And that's the thing is, like, words without weight are just words. So if the words that I'm saying to you that are coming through this camera, this microphone, entering your ears, vibrating your little eardrums, if they resonate with you, then you feel the weight of my words. So we need to start putting weight behind our words and feeling that weight. So get in touch with your feelings and in tune with the weight of words, because words without weight are just words.
What does that say?
So Makabel says, thank you so much for the advice. It helps a lot. And you can always, like, you can email us, like, reach out to us. You want to look at your phone? That's why you have your phone, remember?
It's not going to show up on my phone.
Do you want me to read the cancer? So Patricia says, the cancer went to my spine, crushing part of it. This was back in 2016. I couldn't move anything from the waist down for over 3 months. They told me that I had a 10% chance of walking again. Now I can walk with a walker, and I also go to the gym.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome, Patricia. Yeah. And I really you're already tapping into what it takes, mind over matter. If you believe that you can get better, then you can. It's this shame and this like fear of failure that keeps us all from really radically changing our lives. So keep believing that. And I recommend like meditation and we offer we're doing these every Sunday when we can. So to like offer tips and tricks. Also, I have the podcast Spewtron, which you can listen to anywhere there's podcasts. And I give like meditation techniques and stuff. And now I'm like so inspired. It's only going to get more. I'm going to keep like totally flooding all of this stuff out. And yeah, because like the world needs to hear this. I watched this movie that it was about like, I'm not even going to tell you the story, but there was a line in it where the guy said, they don't need another leader. They just need someone to tell them the truth. And
it's a great line.
It's a great line. We as humanity, we don't need a leader. That's why all cult movements fail. It's because the one leader at the top starts sucking everything up and thinking they're some kind of god or something. Truth is, we're all gods. We're all divine, and nobody's better than anybody else. We're just all parts of a separate whole. We're all different parts of the separate whole. So we don't need leaders. We just need to know the truth. And the
truth comes from sharing.
The truth comes from sharing. Like what I'm saying is like, I don't know if I'm 100% right about all this, but these are the things that I think, and I'm always open to change. So if my words spark something in you, you might have a puzzle piece to connect to my thought, and then we start building this big picture of a puzzle, and then we start to see who the fuck we are and what this puzzle is, and we start to put it together, and that's how we evolve, and that's how we grow. I truly believe once humanity starts to get the bigger picture, we're going to be like opened up to like intergalactic societies and like space travel and all this stuff. But it's like we gotta get there first. Do you do the Wim Hof method? I vaguely think I've heard of the Wim Hof method, but what is it? The Greeks had 7 words for different kinds of love. We only have the one, and it really deters it. Heather, yes, this is the point that I was trying to make too, is that this is a problem with modern society today. Have you noticed that the acronym for the LGBTQ plus community keeps growing? Well, it's because there are infinite ways to love people, but only a few ways to divide them. So the problem with this, like, I am all about LGBTQ, gay rights, like trans rights, all of this. Like, I'm in full support of it. But the problem we're having is that we feel the need to define, and defining only divides things. So the realm of matter is a realm of division, and we need terms and labels to interface with the concepts of this narrative. But we need to realize that when it comes to love, like, love has no definition. You can't tell somebody what love is. You can try to describe it, but love isn't something that you can label. It's something that you feel. How you feel about that?
Yeah. Love.
Tupac, what are you doing? He's like
Oh,
touching
you know what?
something again.
There's a turkey bone here.
Oh, come here.
Get
out
away
of
from
here.
that turkey bone.
Yeah. Come on. Hey, what are you doing? Ruby, yeah, see, if you want to be in a poly relationship, that's totally fine. And all you need to do is find people that feel that way as well. Because you have to be, like, I've known many friends with, like, polyamorous relationships, and the big problem that I see with them is that they don't have good communication. They're like, emotions get involved, and then that's how things can turn weird. But if you have great communication and you're on the same vibe with that, if the group that you're with is on board with something, and as long as you're not hurting anyone else, it's fine. There's really no reason, because again, it's taboo.
It's that shame that's attached to that.
Yeah, it's a shame of having multiple partners, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with embracing your sexuality.
Not hurting anyone, there's nothing wrong with
Yep, exactly. Like when it comes to matters of sex, it's as long as it's safe, consensual, and age appropriate. Is like there's nothing wrong with any way that you choose to express yourself sexually, because sex is the ultimate act of creation. We literally make fucking people with sex. And so you should explore, you should experiment, and you should embrace the power and the wonderful unlimited potential and the unlimited ways to love people that is sex. It's like there is no gay or straight. There's only preference. Just as like I like spicy foods, some people don't like spicy foods. We don't judge people on the type of music they like. We don't say you can't get married because you like rock music. Like it's fucking stupid for anyone to say, oh, these people can't get married because they prefer to have sex with people that have the same parts as them. Like what the fuck is that? A little heat on that one.
Did you drink coffee today?
I did.
Okay.
So I would say if you project that thought, if that's what speaks to your heart, if you want a poly relationship, then project that to the universe, and the right people that want that as well, they'll find you. And then you'll all make your own little puzzle, and you'll see the bigger picture, and you'll learn about yourself through each other. Because love is love, man. We got to start fucking embracing love. 2020 is the year of love.
Love is the most powerful energy that man can wield.
So the Wim Hof method is a combination of meditation, breathing exercise, and exposure to cold that can help you regulate your stress levels. Yeah, it's basically, that was kind of what I was instinctively doing with last night when I was doing this movement yoga and breathing and rhythmic chant. It's weird, I subconsciously started doing this chant that just came, I was just like, I don't know, I'm going to say the gibberish that comes out of my mouth. And then it sounds like this weird ancient like thing, I don't know. And I'm like, man, if I play that backwards and it says something, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So I still got to try it, playing it backwards, see what it says. Yeah, so we're also like, I'm documenting our journey, and I'm going to be putting the docuseries on our Patreon. And that's another thing that with flow, I've been thinking a lot about money, and I'm like, man, how can we make money work? Because like it's the root of all evil. But really, if you think about it, money, the underlying concept of money and what we all strive for is freedom. We don't strive for money, we strive for the freedom that money gives us. So in a sense, freedom is the root of all evil. Because if you're free to do what you want, I mean, you know, that's up to your moral compass. And that's why we have a moral compass, is that we should be as free as possible, but use our moral compass to guide us to true north and the right way. And so I was thinking about money, and when people hoard money, this is another thing that's wrong with the flow of the planet right now, is that billionaires are hoarding huge caches of money, and they're stopping the flow of money. There's a thing called the velocity of money, and when it goes through, so who dictates morality? Well, that's another topic we can start getting into, but right now let's talk about the flow of money. Is when you stop that flow, you're stopping the freedom. So whether it's conscious or not, the elite that are running the world are stopping the flow of freedom by stopping the flow of money. So for us to increase that flow, I realized we need to start having this economy that's based on believing in balance and believing in our fellow man, and a society where pay what you can, and give what you get. So if you constantly believe that money will always come to you, then it will. Like, people will support you. The right people will find you. Money will come to you. And then when you have more than you need, you send that money into something else. Like, if we start generating wealth, like, I don't plan on like saving a lot. I'll save enough. Like, I think the idea here is I'll always have a savings that will keep putting back and putting back. So let that grow. So it's kind of like, so we have like a safety net, but also always be spending the money. And I want to like commission artists to do things. I want to give that money, give that freedom to another artist so that they can create something and make this world a better place. So don't think of money as money, think of money as freedom. We need to share freedom with each other. Damn, I just came up with that point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, you're kind of on a thing.
I'm on a roll, man. Getting heated here. Feeling the heat, feeling the fire. And that was what our ritual was.
Start feeling the water soon.
You're right. That's true. So that's a good point, is that I'm realizing that thoughts are elemental. And I've been projecting a lot of fire at you guys right now because it's the passion that I feel in my heart. Mm-hmm. But like, if I just kept going and I would be like, motherfucker, you guys can fucking do, and then it's like, that would be too much, you know? So I have to like, you got to temper your feelings with another element. And it's funny because we talked about sharing a, lost my track. Oh, the meditation that we're going to do today is a water meditation. Yeah, warming you guys up. Oh man, see, we're doing a little ritual here that I didn't even realize. I'm warming you guys up, and then we're going to temper you guys with the guided meditation of water. We're going to envision that we're water, and we're tempering that fire that I just created in your hearts. When I did the fire ritual the other night, when I released my emotions, my intent was I wanted to use the passion of my heart, the fire that I feel in my heart, to ignite the spark of creativity and passion in everyone else's heart until there's an inferno of transformation and human awakening. So this is what I want. I want to share what I feel with you guys, and then you take that torch and you share it with who you feel. And then we're like, party time, excellent, and we'll be awesome to one another. Is that on the VOD? Which one is it? Are you talking about like another episode or something? Because our YouTube channel, youtube.com/RanCig, has all the video. It'll have this video, and then also Sputron, the podcast, will have. You can type in !podcast if you want to see the podcast. I should have a command for YouTube. But okay, yeah. So I've been ranting for over 30 minutes, so I think it's time we do our meditation. Yeah? Okay, I'll let you like take over because
no, it's okay. We could just.
No, I think you need to balance this out. This discussion because I've been like going, so I'm gonna take a back seat. You got anything to impart with people? How you feel?
We could just start meditating.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you want to guide everybody?
Yeah, you can do it.
I kind of, I don't know where to take everybody.
Oh.
What are you feeling?
I don't know. You kind of just said like a lot of things, so now it's time to just meditate. I don't know. You can do the guidance because I feel like you've said a lot, and
okay.
I'm not like upset or anything. I'm just like, you were on a roll.
Should I do the drum? I don't know.
You could ask if they
want
to
rhythm.
Drum. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'll do some rhythmic drumming, and then we'll do like a 20-minute meditation.
Yeah.
And I think the point of this meditation is to connect with that fire in your heart, connect your mind and heart.
Yeah, connecting your mind and heart is very important for flow.
And the key to that flow is gratitude. Because when you're grateful for something, you're in the ultimate state of acceptance and openness. You open yourself up to receive when you're grateful. Mm-hmm.
So it's about releasing and then receiving. Opening up channels so that you can receive more.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're still figuring out the sound on this one because when I do the drum, I don't want the sound to get weird. But
it's up to you. I like the drumming.
Okay, well, I'll put the mic over there. But so everybody, if you want to light a candle or something, set a little intention. Get comfy.
Yep, lighting a candle, setting an intention is to me kind of a huge important part of my meditation practice.
So, yeah, and then sit in the pyramid pose, legs crossed, and like I said, so Randy told me something interesting because these are the mudras. I always gravitate towards finger and thumb here.
Yeah, but for this might be better for flow because we're going to be accessing water. So when you put your thumb to your pinky, then that's actually good for water energy.
And then if you want to think about it this way, like a creative intelligence designed us humans, whether it was through experimentation, evolution, whatever you want to call it. Like, we have hands, and they're a modern marvel. Like, it's so hard to make robot hands. Like, hands do all kinds of things. So what else they do that we have forgotten that they do is that they're like tuning forks. We have electricity that runs through these things, and when you move them in certain geometric shapes and patterns, it creates different flows of energy. Hey, there's the tie back into... So mudras are to create different flows. So if we want to channel into a water, like you said, everybody should thumb and pinky.
Yep.
And then stick your other 3 fingers out. So
if you want to.
If you want to.
You're
but also,
called to do, really.
I'm learning that maybe you need something a little bit different than water. Maybe you need something else. So
yeah, there are different ways to, flow. When you think of the wind, you could think of that, moving energy that way. So, I mean, it's really whatever you're called to do.
Yeah. So I would say... whatever your hands, like, go straight to, don't even think about it. Put your hands in a cool position. Whatever that position is.
Unless you want to be more structured. So
yeah.
it's up to you.
Yep, we're just laying out all the ways to do it.
There are many ways to do this.
That's irreverentism for you.
Yeah. And also with seating, like, in my opinion for this, seat how you're comfortable. Don't feel locked into any certain position, because if you're uncomfortable, then you're blocking flow.
That's true.
You're blocking energy flow. So if you want to lay down, you can lay down. Just seat comfortably.
I have to use the restroom now too before we get started. So if you want to talk to them. If you guys have any questions for Ranny, now's a good time. She will answer you guys. And
I can read it. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, you guys?
I can move it over.
There we go. Now I can see.
And then I'll be back, and then we'll start our guided meditation.
You fell into a trap. It's a meditation trap. Spook Train. That's a weird name. Yeah, so what I like to do before I meditate is I usually burn some sort of herb. Like usually sage or Palo Santo. I mean, really whatever you want. It's the intention behind the burning of the herbs that you want to focus on. Yes, oh no, calming and relaxation. Well, I mean, Sig got everyone fired up. Now it's time for us to kind of change the mood into something more relaxing. Calming. He's back. Tupac was taking your space. Oh, I don't know where your drum is. Yeah, meditation is really great for anxiety because I feel like basically when you meditate, you're learning to connect with your higher self.
Are you in or out?
When you connect with your higher self, then you create safety of the mind or safety in your mind because you start to learn how to trust yourself. I think a lot of anxiety has to do with a lack of trust.
That's a good point. That's really powerful.
A lot of people live in fear and anxiety because they don't have any trust for themselves or others, and that stems from, it can be from anything really.
Yeah, I mean, anxiety, think about it. This is what I say, when you get in tune with your feelings, really start dissecting them. Anxiety stems from a fear or a lack of something, a fear of something happening. Mm-hmm. It's that edge. It's that, like, you're anxious because the uncertainty. Yeah. So if you start to fear the uncertainty, then it starts to affect you. But you embrace the uncertainty and the absurdity of all of it. Irreverentism. So mantras are things you can answer
It
that.
depends on what your intent. You know, the first thing you want to think of when you're going to meditate is an intention. It can be anything. Like my intention would be like relaxation or flow or anything like that, and then you can just kind of look up what you would want to do in terms of how you can facilitate that intention. It could just be your mind, but you could also look up mudras, or you can look up herbs that have to do with your intention, and that'll just bring you into that space that you want to be in.
Yeah, these are all things tools to use. And I heard somebody say meditation is like sports. There are many different types of sports, but they're all physical activities. So meditation, there's many different types of meditations, but it's all mental activities. So I think the most thing that I can impart with you guys now, we can share you our tips and stuff, but what do you subconsciously, without even thinking about it, what do you feel like your body needs right now? What does your mind need right now? Mm-hmm. And let that happen to you, and just feel grateful that whatever is happening, you don't have to understand it, but know that whatever's happening to you right now for this next 20 minutes is exactly what your body and your mind need.
Yeah.
And just let it flow.
Yeah. And for me, I love lighting candles before meditation, because the fire helps me focus or kind of just lose myself. I love fire. I'm a fire sign, so that fire anchors me. But whatever you feel called to use or do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tupac, you gotta move. All right, so if you guys are ready, let's get into it. Also, like things like plant medicines. They can, used properly, they can elevate your frequency, and but a lot of times it's easy for abuse, because what's happening is you're artificially raising your vibration. If you don't have the foundation that to do that organically, then you start to crash and burn, and so you have to build a foundation if you're going to experiment with plant medicines.
Yeah.
Balance and grounding. Okay, let's do this. And I'm just going to... So, fun fact about the djembe while we get set up is that Randy didn't even know that I play drums, and she bought me a djembe because Spirit told her that I would love it. And actually, a djembe is my favorite drum. Yeah. So, I'm going to go with the flow of... I'm just going to go with the flow of whatever rhythm I feel, and maybe it'll get faster, maybe it'll stay the same. I don't know, but I'm just going to try to find the flow of the moment so that we can all harmonize at this moment in time with our minds, because right now, all of us that are doing this together, we're connecting. We're right now because we all have the same intent, is to connect and better ourselves in the pursuit of wisdom and freedom. So, turn this down a little bit. Do a little test here. How's that sound to you guys? Is that overwhelming? If that's too loud, I'll turn it down.
Tupac, I think you might have to.
Yeah, Tupac, come on, you gotta go. Yeah, he's gonna steal that turkey bone while we're meditating. Okay, cool. That's good. All right, so Randy's going to set an alarm. Just relax, be grateful, and know that your body knows exactly what you need. So let...
20 minutes?
Yeah. Let whatever needs to come to you, come to you.
Yeah, let it come to you, acknowledge it, and then release it. This is the perfect way to meditate, is to let thoughts come to you. Don't block them, acknowledge them, and then you can release them.
If you have this nagging, I think this is a key to fighting the monkey mind, is if you have this nagging thought, maybe acknowledge that thought and then let it go. So if it's a bad thought, even if bad thoughts come up, don't get shocked and be like, oh, why am I thinking bad things? Think, maybe that was just something I needed to acknowledge, and now I'm going to let it flow out of me.
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go. 20 minutes. Everybody enjoy and be grateful and just have fun.
Focus on gratitude. Focus on your heart and connecting it with your mind. And don't forget to breathe.
So if you say anything, the mic is lower, so you have to project it, okay?
Yep. magic water pouring over you as you release any negative energies. Any stagnation. Welcoming any energies that are healing energies to move in the spaces that need that energy. Welcoming love.
If you feel like you want to move, let your body move. Know that your body knows exactly what it needs to move, the ways in which you need to move. Your body knows it.
Mm-hmm. Welcoming flow.
So all you gotta do is just let it flow. So if you want to move to the beat, go for it. Don't let anything stop you. We're opening the floodgates and letting it flow. Imagine that you're dancing in water and it's just washing all of that negativity off of you. So you can reconnect to what's underneath all that stuff, which is you. And it's me. And it's all of us connected.
Welcoming peace. Welcoming love. Gratitude. Healing. Compassion. Prosperity. abundance of positive energies. Just flowing through you. There's enough for everybody.
Lack is a lie. Abundance is infinite.
Welcome connection to your higher self, to your ancestors. Your ancestors are always with you. Welcoming the wisdom of your ancestors and your guides. Knowing that everything that you do is exactly what you should be doing. Releasing the fear. Knowing that you are guided. No matter how alone you may feel, you are held. You are held by your ancestors. Welcome their love and their knowledge, their wisdom. You are older than you know. Their wisdom flows through you.
Just sit in your gratitude and let it wash over you like water. Let it flow through you and open up your heart. Because you're just connected with all of us here. If you were here with us, you were connected. And you're that much stronger for it because it put you in connection with yourself and the wisdom of your ancient ancestors. And it put you in contact with all of us because we're all one. Feel your heart beating. Feel that light, that passion, that fire in your heart. Go out and share that with others and inspire others to feel that in their heart too, because some things can't be explained, they can only be felt.
fire in our hearts. We are all connected. Let that fire guide you.
And let that fire be tempered by the water of forgiveness.
Let the connection to your heart help you remember who you are.
This is your wake-up call. This is the nudge to wake you up from that dream within a dream. Synchronicities are just tiny little wake-up calls to gently waken you up to the bigger picture.
Release the energies that no longer serve you. Welcome the guidance of your higher self and your ancestors.
The only thing holding you back was the trauma of your past. So look forward to the future and release the past. And all things must come to an end. Change is inevitable. We always just have to go with the flow.
Welcome the cycles of change. Welcome the healing waters. Welcome the flow.
We cry because we're releasing the flow of emotions. Our tears are filled with emotion. That's why we cry. So let it out. Don't be ashamed to cry. Because that shame holds you back. And if I can do it here live in front of the world, then you can do it in your own lives. Just let it flow, man. And don't forget to breathe.
Keep breathing, yes.
Don't anticipate the moment, just let the moment unfold, and everything happens in divine timing. As long as you let it flow. Whew. That was intense for me.
It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys followed along with that. Whew. I mean, I felt like I said before we started, I was gonna just go with the flow of the moment, and like I just played the drum and I heard the beat in my head. We didn't practice this at all. We like I just what you just saw, and I'm realizing is that I'm having a live revelation. Is that what you just saw was lifetimes of us learning, and we just put into practice everything that we've learned over multiple lifetimes. And the last year was our wake-up call, and it taught us all of these things, and we just put it into practice, man. And I just let the moment unfold. Like, I felt like I knew when I should say something, and then I felt like you were saying things right when you should say things, and then I just followed the beat that I heard, and I just felt this emotion like well up in my eyes. And then I realized I was just talking about shame and how like you shouldn't be ashamed. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna fucking cry here on live on Twitch, man. And Honey G says I was supposed to be here. Yeah, I put that in the. I put like if you guys look at the title of the stream, I put if you find yourself here, you were meant to be here. And this is our purpose. Like, our purpose is to create and inspire and share knowledge. And I hope that if you guys followed along with us, like, I have no doubt that you released some stuff. Mm-hmm. If you listened to our words and you felt the rhythm of our moment, we shared that moment together. And we all did, like, a collective release. And I think, like, we just made, like, I came up with a ritual, like, impromptu ritual, dude. Isn't that crazy?
What do you mean impromptu?
Like I'm drumming for the beat of the rhythm of the moment, and then you're just talking and it was almost like it was like we were singing with the beat.
It was a meditation ceremony.
Yeah, we literally like meditation ceremony, dude.
Yeah, I went into a trance, so those were channeled messages for everyone.
Yeah, like I went into a trance too. Like I wasn't afraid. I just said what I heard because I knew that you guys needed to hear it, and I know that's what Randy was doing, and that's what channeling is.
You're welcome.
You can all do this.
And thank you guys for joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, we return all of the gratitude like right back at you. We're all mirrors, and through ourselves we see each other, and we all just shared a very genuine moment of human connectivity. And I want you guys to take that moment and share it with the world. Whether you're listening to this on the podcast, whether you're watching the YouTube video later, it doesn't matter. Time is an illusion. When you hear this, you're supposed to be hearing this. So this is your wake-up call to go out into the world in whatever way works for you. Whatever way your mind is drawn to, that's your path. And if you follow your path, it leads to you creating the life that you want, and it leads to you inspiring others to do the same. Because when you follow your path, what your path is that tiny little piece where you fit into the puzzle. So you have to and fear is the only thing stopping you from finding where you fit. And it's crazy because she released an emotion of me that apparently I had before I came back. It's going to make me emotional again, but before I came back into this lifetime, and it's hitting me how profound this is right now. It's like one of the emotions I released was fear before I came back into this lifetime because I didn't know where I was going to fit in. And I was afraid I wouldn't find where I fit in. And I think it's taken me 31 years and some days to figure out in this moment where I finally understand where I fit into this human puzzle. And it's a beautiful puzzle of connectivity and shared experience. And
can you read those out loud?
So, okay, sorry, I'll catch up with your comments. So, I meditated in front of a full-length mirror yesterday, and today it feels more intense. Self-love, man. Project the love into the mirror, and it reflects back at you.
Yeah.
And Makobel says, when we were meditating and you said, this is your wake-up call, I really, really felt it was almost scary how profound the feeling it brought out of me from. And see, I felt that. I felt I heard that in the ether, and it brought this feeling of profound, like, oh, this is my wake-up call. I think, like, I'm literally talking about how I just found my piece in the puzzle. That was my wake-up call, too. There's many layers of meaning to every single thing. And it's all about the feeling behind the words.
Sending love back to you, Heather Black.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seriously, like, I want you guys to know we're sending you like true, genuine love for humanity and ourselves, because we're all one, we're all connected. And this is the connectivity that we have to, this is our mission, guys. If you guys are here, you see the way the world is. You see how divided it is. You see people trying to make labels to divide us even further. But love has no labels. And you felt the love tonight. You felt true, genuine love and release. And you got to peek through the noise, and you could see the true essence of what's underneath existence.
What does that one say? The bottom?
I had to miss the meditation with you guys today. Bunny, you can rewatch the video. Also, I'm gonna put it up on our YouTube, youtube.com/RanCig, and then it'll also be out in the podcast form of Sputron. So you can go back and watch it. You can do this anytime. That's why we do these things. And I honestly, honey, like, I don't even know if I've had a moment that publicly. Like, I was scared that I was gonna screw up the drum beat, or I was gonna say something dumb, or I was gonna fucking cry in front of everybody. But when I dropped that and I let go of that shame, and then there's nothing to be ashamed of to like show emotion, I just got caught up in the rhythm of the moment, and that's perfection. Is when you're not tethered by any worries or anything. You're just in the rhythm of the moment, man. And like, this is a powerful moment. I think you guys, like, we're all feeling how powerful this moment is right now. It's a revelatory moment, and this has been our life, and this is what I'm trying to document with this docu-series that we're going to put on Patreon. And I want to start this experiment that I want to start living our life where based off of we trust in the balance of the universe. And so if you guys want, we're going to keep making content like this. And if you guys want to support us, if you can, we're going to put this out for free. But if you can support us, if you subscribe to our Patreon, and that really can help support us. It's only like $3 a month. And if you have it, we would appreciate it. It's it's like a little bit of $3 here, $3 there, and then that like helps us. And then also what that does is it proves the model that if we believe in the power of our fellow humans, and we believe that we're attracting enough to sustain ourselves, then we will attract the funds and the money that we need to put it back out into artistic and creative endeavors that we can give other people the freedom to do what they want. So we're not asking for your money, we're asking you to share some of your freedom with us so that we can push the freedom back out and then generate freedom for everybody. So
I'm like, okay, cool.
Wow, I don't know. It's I don't want to be sales pitchy or whatever, but it's, it's our patreon.com/RanCig if you guys would like to support us. And also, we're not asking for something for nothing, because I'm actually, if you saw how powerful this moment is, I documented all of last year, and I'm turning it into a docu-series, and I'm going to share it with you guys so you guys can go on the journey of how, this is part of the docu-series right now. This is like later in the season, but if you want to see how all this started, that's what subscribing to our Patreon will get you. And like, I think we're gonna have the videos unlisted. So if you want to share the video with people, that's fine, because we know that people need to see the message. But also, it's up on the Patreon so that we can also, if people want to support us, then they can support us. You know what I mean? Because shamanism, a key part of shamanism, a lot of shamans, what they charge for their work is what you can afford. So
I don't want to work with. I want to work with anyone, but if someone couldn't afford it, I would definitely want to work with them before someone who has a lot of money, just because I know that what I could do for them can change their lives.
And believing in balance believes that if someone couldn't afford something and we help them, then we're going to attract somebody with the resources and the money to make up for it, because we believe in the balance, and we believe that the universe is going to take care of us. So we believe in freedom, and money is the resource of freedom. And so please, if this moment was powerful to you, please share the video. I'm going to put it up on YouTube, at youtube.com/RanCig. And I'm going to put it up on the podcast. If you could please, and I documented all last year of my journey through the podcast too. So if you could listen to my podcast, Spewtron, Randy and I talk in depth about spiritual stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm just now seeing like all these things I thought were unrelated. All these random puzzle pieces are finally starting to fall together. Because I made that video of Bampo on YouTube about body and mind positivity, like in my underwear, like a long time ago, and I didn't even think of the concept of shame and how like powerful that is. So everything is starting to come together. So yeah, we don't want to like be sales pitchy or ask for money, but if you do want to support us on the Patreon, please do. And you get access to a whole bunch of fucking wacky, weird shit.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed in the content that we bring. It's not just spiritual stuff. I mean, everything is linked to spirituality, like comedy. Yeah,
but also if you love like what I do, like I have like effects how-tos and shit, and like it's so you get to learn like creative stuff. Like it's just a hub to inspire. And you offer up your freedom to us so that we have the freedom to continue making the content.
You sound ridiculous.
I know.
It's just funny.
There's a lot coming out.
Give me your freedom! Give me your freedom!
Weird. Yeah, don't give us all your freedom. Keep your freedom for yourself.
Keep your own.
Give us your money, and then you can keep your freedom. I guess the two concepts don't over. They're not interchangeable, I guess. Okay, sorry guys.
I control you now.
Thank you for calling me out on that.
Thank you for your freedom.
This is why I call my podcast Spewtron, because
I always wanted to take people's freedom. So.
I'm spewing. That's my so.
Ever since I was a wee child.
So, but what? Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
I'm
that's all. We're rambling now. Yep. I think we should.
We're gonna wrap it up, but I'm not gonna worry that. Normally, I'd be embarrassed that I rambled, but like, hey. There's wisdom in there, and like, don't have no shame. Yeah, no. I think that we all had a magical moment. So thank you guys so much, and.
Thank you, Mama Neutron, for joining us.
So there's the link to the Patreon.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Alright, so I put the link in the Patreon in both chats. And also, if you guys want to, if you feel compelled to email us or contact us through any DMs, I'm sure we'll see it at the time we're supposed to see it, because we're here to help. Because this shit, life is fucking confusing, man. Yep. And we're here
to help others, guide others, give advice, share experiences. We're here, man.
We're just trying to clear the noise so that you can find clarity and you can discover who you are. Mm-hmm. And if that ain't a thing,
I don't know what it is.
That's a catchphrase that you'll see in the docuseries.
Yeah.
That's a long story, but you get to see it. That's exciting. Yeah. And this
crazy spiritual awakenings, talking to ghosts and all kinds of shit. And
one more thing I want to let you guys know is that the day that we did this release ritual, it turned out it was exactly a year from the day that we left for New Orleans when all of this started, and I started documenting it. So an entire year came full circle all the way around the sun, and all of the bits that we thought were unrelated came together, and it was just a magical, mystical moment. Mm-hmm. So now that you've like heard the wake-up call, you might be experiencing some synchronicities. You might be noticing some numbers and stuff. Well, just
333, man, that's Papa Legba.
Yeah, like just Google, like if you see threes, Google spiritual meaning of threes.
No, Papa Legba says no, it's him. Don't Google it. 333 is Papa Legba.
Okay, well,
just kidding.
You know that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, start developing a language of context, because the universe is trying to give you messages, but if you don't have the cipher and you don't put context to these things, then it has a hard time connecting with you and teaching you. So the universe is trying to guide you. No matter where you are in life, the universe is trying to show you the way. All you have to do is pay attention and learn the language of the universe. Learn the context of your life. Mm-hmm. So, and then share your stories with us, because again, I want to share these in a docuseries and like get people hyped, man. Like, because this is a worldwide phenomenon. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be. I mean, you're already experiencing it now. So, the world is a magical place, and it's absurd, and I'm absurd, and I look forward to all of the irreverent goodness that is coming. Be open to it. Remember, stay weird, stay open-minded.
Let it flow.
And if you're not looking, you're not going to find it. But let it flow is probably better. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and that
Bye,
completes.
guys.
We'll see you next Sunday at noon Pacific time. And now that we found the flow of this, man, we're gonna Randy is gonna be joining me all the time, and we're gonna rock this out. So if you need this weekly ritual, tell people about it. Share the stream, share the stuff, blow this up so we can spread this message, because it's not our message. We're just reminding everybody of the truth. Human unity.
Okay.
And also, I stream weekdays from 1 p.m. Pacific time to at least 4 p.m. where I do not meditation stuff. I do art stuff.
Yep, he does very cool art stuff.
And I feel
We'll be doing some special effects makeups pretty soon because he
Yep.
recently sculpted the prosthetic for me. So
Yep.
yeah,
We're
see
gonna
you
be
guys.
doing prosthetics. And also, I don't
Bye,
know,
Michael
maybe
Bell.
I may stream.
Bye, honey. Sorry.
I may stream Overwatch today. I don't know, later, because I need to ground myself, and do something that's real worldly. So maybe I'll be back later for a stream, but maybe not. We'll see. But
Okay.
you guys are awesome, and we're sending all of the love and
Yeah,
gratitude
sending so
right back
much
to you
love
guys,
to you
because
guys.
we are all mirrors, and what do we want to reflect?
Bye.
Bye.